Hi guys, I'm Yeti from English is My Passion. Welcome back to the channel.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch.
I often get a lot of questions regarding written English, but to tell the truth, I'm not confident enough to respond to them because I'm still working on my English writing skills as you. So today I invited Maki, whom I really admire because of her good nature, for sure, and her creative, extraordinary writing skills. And I've also prepared a bunch of questions for her based on the comments in this post, and I'm pretty certain that she'll be able to help us figure out how to solve the problems regarding written English. So I'm very stoked to talk to her. So without further ado, let's get started. Hi, Maki. So can you please tell us about yourself and how you started Writer's Carvings?
Okay, so my name is Maki Utsumi. I was born and raised in Japan, so my native language is Japanese. And I don't know, I'm first and foremost a mother. I have 3-year-old son, but I work as a proofreader slash writing teacher for a company that offers proofreading service to Japanese people. So I can call myself as a mom, as a proofreader. And I'm pretty active on Instagram as Writer's Carvings. Uh, this is my personal project, hobby project, but I have two main segments called Echo and Kotohogu. And Echo is my writing project where I introduce amazing stories from across the world. And Kotokogu is my virtual speaking club. I hold sessions bi-weekly. So if you're interested in joining, anyone is welcome. So that's my project. And I started Writer's Carvings in April 2020. And I was seeing writer's carvings as my creative outlet. So I was thinking of sharing my writing on Instagram, but also I wanted to keep practicing with amazing writers that I met during English challenges. So that's why I started my personal project.
Sure, and it is just the way you kind of create your post, especially your work, is totally incredible. I love
Oh,
your post on Instagram. So I'm gonna put the link in the description. You guys must follow her because
oh,
other creative and incredible pieces of work, you can
oh,
on her Instagram account. And now,
thank you.
so these are basically what our people can expect from your personal blog, right?
Yes, the most amazing thing you can get on my Instagram is stories from across the world. I worked with some contributing writers who are all English learners. So you can see amazing stories there, and their stories are probably what you are capable of using English. So you can get a lot of inspirations from their stories.
It's like a common problem with the people is that when they start writing, they usually get stuck even before they start writing, because no ideas come out of their brain, or like they cannot generate or come up with new ideas that fit into the topic. So my question is that actually, from my point of view, I suppose it is because we don't read a lot or we don't read enough, because I feel like writing and reading are closely connected, So I suppose we won't be able to write anything properly unless we read kind of enough. So am I right or wrong?
Yeah, 100% you're right. This is my personal opinion, but I always suggest people reading. That's why my Instagram account is all about story or all about storytelling, and people can read a lot of stories there. And reading is exploring other people's writing activities, so you can learn a lot from reading. And usually, when we get stuck, I assume there are a few major reasons why, or two huge major factors, I would say. One of them is the lack of vocabulary words, and another is the lack of inspiration. And probably, some people might be lost about how to structure sentences or how to structure story outlines, right? So you can compensate for all of them by reading. You can enhance your vocabulary, you can learn new knowledge, you can expose yourself to various kinds of structures, various kinds of writing styles, right? And also you can get a lot of inspiration. So I don't see any reasons why I wouldn't recommend reading. So I'm totally agree with you.
It's all about reading, and then like kind of when you read other people's work, you can get inspiration. At the same time, you can come up with like new and also like incredible sentence structures, because you
Yeah.
knowledge, I suppose, like by reading or writing skills.
Yeah. So and you can use the inspiration to actually write. You can move step forward, right? So reading is really beneficial, I feel.
Like so many people ask me like why can't like we start writing, why
Mm.
we get stuck even before we start. And then I was like, okay, I think like speaking and listening, I suppose like reading and
Yeah,
writing are also connected.
totally. The relationship is the same as, speaking and listening.
Sure. Okay. So next one. So firstly, this is for the very like kind of the people who are at the beginner level. Okay.
Mm.
So they're
Okay.
like they also want to start writing, but they don't know what to do first. They have no idea what to do first. So can you please give us like kind of step-by-step instructions, especially like for the beginners?
Yeah, I know it's hard to get started, right? Especially for beginners students. But one thing you can do is finding a topic to write about. And if you get online, you will find a bunch of discussion topics or writing prompts available for free. So, according to your level, you can choose a topic. You can choose a topic you like, and you just start writing without worrying about anything. You don't have to be worried about grammar. You don't have to be worried about words. Writing can wait for you to come up with words or look for words. So you don't have to worry about the grammars and vocabulary first. Once you finish writing, and then you can edit, right? So I would say you you can write whatever you want. You can write whatever you have in your brain and make it tangible first, and then you can tweak. You can look for another words in the editing process, right? And then you can use Grammarly or spelling checker or grammar checker to polish your writing. So there are several steps you can take, but the first step is find a topic, find a topic you are passionate about or you want to talk about. So that's the first step you can take, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I think like writing prompts are so useful, because sometimes like we have we're clueless about like what we have to write or what we should write.
Yeah.
There are like kind of writing prompts available, especially like on social media or on internet, and then I
Yes.
we're able to use and apply these writing prompts so that we can get started with our
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And it doesn't have to be wrong. Your writing doesn't have to be wrong, especially for beginners. Like 3 sentences can work. So start small, don't get overwhelmed.
Sure. Yeah, I love it. Like we need to start small, like a kind of a you when you take even a small step, and then when you combine all of them, it becomes kind of a huge success, I suppose.
Yes, yeah. And you can make opening your book a habit. If you don't want to feel like writing, you can doodle in your notebook, but open your notebook or open your apps or whatever, you can make it a habit. And it can be a trigger for you to get started.
When you move physically, it encourages
Yes.
to
Uh-huh.
to really get started. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So next question. A lot of people commented that grammar and vocabulary plays a role like in our written English skills, in developing our written English skills. So does lack of vocabulary and grammar knowledge affect the accuracy and creativity of a writer? And also, can you please explain the role of grammar and vocabulary and how we can improve them?
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people don't want to hear about this, but grammar and vocabulary is crucial for you to be creative or for you to be accurate. But I don't want to say you have to be a grammar expert or anything. You don't have to master everything, right? So you want to go over the basics like tenses or relative clauses or conditionals, all those basics, and then start writing. And one of my friends once came up with a metaphor about the relationship between grammar and vocabulary. She said, vocabulary words are ingredients and grammar is a recipe. So you need to look for a great ingredient, which is vocabulary words. And you also need to learn how to cook. So you need to know a recipe, right? So the more you learn recipes, the more freedom or the more creative you get. So yeah, you don't have to be so stressed about grammars, but you need to go over the basic, you know.
Because the basics, sometimes people assume that they know, but actually they don't know,
Mm,
especially the basics. Yeah, I always
yes.
encourage my people like to learn the basic structures, because these are important that we always use like on a day-to-day basis, writing or speaking, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
Like
And
tenses are important, I would say, to
yeah.
tell a story.
Mhm. Yeah. I think like we sometimes like we know a lot of tenses, but we cannot use them properly, in our writing. And sometimes when we have to tell the story, we don't know what to use, like, present simple tense or present like simple past tense. Yeah. And also that's also confusing for people. And that's why we need to make sure that we know them like thoroughly.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So most of the people commented that they have no idea how to organize their scattered ideas and thoughts when they write. So how can we connect our ideas so that our work becomes more relevant and coherent?
Yeah, I can I can totally relate to this. My thoughts are always scattered. So to organize my thoughts, I usually do brain dump, which is how can I put it? You need to get everything in your brain out of your brain. So make it tangible. So you need to write whatever you want to feel writing, and then you need to identify the core message you want to say, right? What you want to say the most, and you need to find the core message out of your brain dump. And also you need to think about who you are writing to and what you are writing for, because it helps you to set the tone and formality and readability. So those steps are crucial. And once you find or once you identify the core message, all you need to do is build up the core message with your stories, with real life examples or anecdotes or supporting ideas. So those first steps, you need to put a lot of efforts into the first steps, and then you come up with, experiences and comments, feelings, and ideas. That's how I do. Some people do it differently for sure, but that's how I do it.
So for before you really start writing, like kind of figuring out what you're gonna write or what
Yes.
you're writing to. Yeah, I think preparation, it's also like one of the keys, to like kind of a good writing, how can I say it,
Yes.
written work. Yeah.
Yeah. And when usually you have scattered minds or scattered thoughts, you kind of distract yourself from different things. So you need to focus on one thing. And once you identify the focus and once you can focus on one thing, it's easier to build up the core message with stories and example sentences that are relevant to the message.
Sure, I think it is very useful because sometimes we just um, we feel frustrated, about ourselves because we cannot organize them in a proper, coherent.
Mm.
Yeah, and I think your suggestion and advice is very useful. Okay, so the next question. The next question is about wordiness. So,
Okay.
avid and enthusiastic writer, have you ever had a hard time trying to eliminate wordiness? Because it is a number one reason, what is season? Number one reason that people are not satisfied with their work. So, how can we reduce wordiness?
Yeah, wordiness is one of the common things that I often see, especially writing written by high intermediate or advanced students. But simplicity is the key. So there are several things you can do to reduce wordiness, and I can share some. One thing is you can change passive voice to active voice. I know passive voice is very beneficial for some types of writing, but usually in English, active voice is more common. So you can change passive voice to active voice. It seems like it's simpler. And another thing, it's not my original idea. It's from one of the coaches, writing coaches that I follow. Shout out to Dr. Claire Lynch. I like her. And she said, if one sentence has more than 24 words, consider separating it to one or two or three sentences if you wish. 24-word sentence can be lengthy. So you need to consider separating it and break it down if you can. You don't have to do it every time, but you need to consider. You might want to consider it. And another thing is readability. Do you know readability? Readability is basically how it is easy to read your text. So readability is the score of how it is easy to read your text. So you know if you use Grammarly, it can give you the readability score. And usually I get my score is around 77 to 85 or something. So check Grammarly if you don't have it yet. And I always keep in mind, simpler is better. I don't want to keep sending people to their dictionary frequently while they read my text. So I use simple words, and I want to make my text easy enough for them to be able to read my text without dictionary. So that's what I always bear in mind.
Yeah, I feel like, we're like when we want to be creative, we think that we need to use like complex grammar structures, or complicated rules so that we sound like kind of, creative and we
Yeah.
advanced. Yeah, but I feel like, and that's why I love like your, writing, like written English, it kind of works because they're just easy to understand yet creative and accurate. I love the way you Right. I even read one of them like today, this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, like, writing is not showing off your level or English level. Writing, the purpose of writing is get messages across. So easier, the better. But, according to what you're writing for, right? If you write academic essays or something, you need to kind of gravitate towards more complex or technical terms and whatever, because they are beneficial for the readers.
So, and then next one, what is one thing you wish you knew earlier in terms of written English?
Yeah, this is such a great question. And I I wish I knew earlier, the power of getting feedback. It wasn't until last year that I shared my writing for the first time. So, getting feedback is very helpful for you to identify or narrow down the area you need to work on. So, getting feedback or the power of having a writing buddy, writing partner, and exchange stories and giving feedback to each other. That's a great way to practice writing in English.
It is so relatable because I also I work as an English teacher in my country, and that's why I always give feedback to my students, but I don't have anybody to give me,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's why I'm also try to kind of look for
Mm-hmm.
who can give me feedback, in terms of speaking or writing, whatever.
Yeah. If you
Important.
want, you can form a writing group
Mhm.
with some people that you like. So there's a way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. And
Sure.
one, yeah. What are the writing tools and resources that you highly recommend to language learners?
Okay, so I have three platforms that I want to share today. One is, of course, Grammarly. If you don't have it, I recommend you should get it because it can check uh, it can check your grammar, spelling, and you can analyze the error that Groundly picked up. So it will help you to improve your grammar skills as well. And it will give you the score. And yeah, sometimes it will give you probably synonyms, and they check collocations too. So this is a great tool for you to use. And another thing is Cambridge English Write and Improve. And yeah, one of my friends introduced it to me last year, and it has a good selection of writing activities. And according to your level, you can choose whatever you like. So you can write academically, you can write just for fun on the platform, and I believe it will give you quick feedback. And the last one is the platform called Text Range. It is a proofreading service. You can get on the platform and you will submit your text. Afterwards, professional editors or professional proofreaders will give you corrections. So, you need to pay a little bit, but I assume that they will give free credit once a day or something. So if you look for accuracy in your writing, this is a great platform for for you to improve your writing skills. So these are the three that I wanted to share today.
I know two of them, like Grammarly and Cambridge Write and Improve. I also use Grammarly as well.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's it gives you scores based on correctness or clarity, Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's amazing.
And yes, and I look for the readability score, like I said, how it is easy to read my text. So this is a great indication for you to see.
Definitely. Yeah. And next one, what habits should we cultivate and add to our everyday study routine to boost our writing skills?
Mhm. Probably reading. Reading is our go-to method or go-to thing. And probably journaling can be good. I don't keep a journal personally, but I write regularly. So you can find something that encourages you to write regularly. So journaling, I write a few times a week for my Instagram post and my newsletter. So yeah, those are the great things. And also letter writing. Writing a letter is a great way to start writing. I'm an avid letter writer. I've been writing letters for more than 20 years. And one thing I want to, there's one reason why I want to recommend letter writing is you can enjoy writing without worrying about anything. Letter writing is just all about having fun. And we have so much pressure in terms of being accurate or knowing grammar rules or whatever, because we had to take English exams or we have to take like interviews in English or whatever. So the pressure can turn into the fear of writing or hesitancy of writing. So I feel we must invest more time into a setting where we can forget about accuracy, we can forget about grammar, and just have fun. So letter writing is the best way to do that.
Wow, that is incredible because I suppose like, sometimes we just enjoy the process, right?
Yes.
Accuracy or practicing or whatever. Like when you enjoy this process, I think you can reduce the fear, as you said, the fear of writing as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you learn something, your brain has to be relaxed, right? So the pressure can be the obstacle for you to learn something. So you need to put a lot of time into more relaxing environment or more relaxing setting where you can only enjoy writing. And this is like an unlearning process. We need to unlearn the pressure or the fear.
I love this word, like unlearning the pressures. Yeah.
Yeah.
People think that when they have to practice like writing or speaking, it has to be like really steadying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, just enjoy because it's just a language and we're gonna work on it, we're gonna acquire it no matter what.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, so next one. Okay, so do you offer any English writing classes or writing clubs where people can practice their written English regularly?
Okay, so I don't offer any English courses or lessons because I work for a company and the company is only catering to Japanese people. So if you are Japanese, you can find me on their platform. But in terms of international learners, I have a newsletter where I provide a monthly writing prompts. And if you write based on the prompts I give you, and share it with me, I will give you quick feedback. So if you want to practice writing with me, you can tag me on Instagram if you have Instagram. So if you tag me, I'm going to go check your rating and give you quick feedback. And if you let me release your story on my Instagram, I will give you full text correction. And if you wish, I can share grammar insights with you. So that's a way for you to practice writing with me.
Yeah, not only practicing writing like according to the prompts that you provide, but also like kind of getting feedback from you. Yeah.
Yes. if you tag me or if you use the hashtag, which is hashtag writers carvings, I'm following the hashtag, and I'm gonna check your text if you use the hashtag.
Yeah. And that's why you need to follow her.
I
To
don't
get
want to be pushy, but I have amazing stories you can read. So I recommend visit them if you have time.
exactly, you should visit, and also you should kind of follow her and then kind of check her posts like regularly so that you can get inspired and you can get started with your writing as well.
Yes, and for your information, probably your followers are watching this. You shared your beautiful writing pieces of writing using the hashtag writers carvings, so you can check it out.
Yeah. I think I've once participated like in the writing festival,
Yeah.
and I am really satisfied with it. I wish that we could have like kind of another.
Yes, it would be great to have another one in the future.
Yeah, and that's why like and also at that time Maki I think gave me feedback, on my work, and I'm totally satisfied with her feedback. Like she is kind of a patient and like kind of, how can you say, genuinely kind-hearted teacher. And
Oh,
the way you give it's just so gentle and soft. It's not like forcing me like you have to do this or do that. It's more in a kind and like gentle way you give feedback to me, and so thank you so much for that as well. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you for joining.
So these are all the questions that I have to ask you, and is there anything that you like to add?
Oh, I covered a lot of things, but start small, enjoy writing, but you need to be a little bit consistent to make writing a habit. So, I have some writing prompts on my Instagram, and if you are interested in my newsletter, you can subscribe to my newsletter. And there's a there's a lot of resources online, so you don't have to pay to improve your writing. There are a lot of great writing coaches on YouTube or in Instagram. So yeah, let's exchange information and improve our writing skills together.
Yeah, I believe that when there's a will, there's a way, right?
Yes.
So with all the free like resources available online, and also Maki is here like to practice, your like a kind of written English and then getting feedback from her. So I think you guys kind of get a lot of information and also knowledge from our conversation. I encourage you guys to follow Maki on Instagram. I'll put the link in the description. And thank you so much for joining us today and watching this beautiful conversation until the end. If you want more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell to get a notification whenever my channel is updated. So, bye.